So now we're going to do part two, which is my favorite part, taking action. So I've discussed in part one how you need to have a plan, you need to write down your steps, and how simple that can be. As long as you keep those steps realistic, you can actually envision those steps, you can meditate on those steps, and you can really visualize and again connect to your emotions. So how would you feel once you actually get to that outcome that you desire, right? How does that make you feel? So, feeling those emotions with connecting with a vision is huge when you're trying to manifest. But I think the biggest key in all of this is to actually take action. So, it's one thing to let go and let opportunities come to you. I mean, part of us learning how to balance things is to let go, but it's also to take action when it's appropriate, right? If you just sit around on your couch all day and you're doing nothing, you cannot expect to be rewarded, with opportunities and stuff. You actually have to work for what you want. So like I said, that means take action. So you look at your list of steps, right? And you start doing them. So and it's as simple as making that first phone call, right? Or signing up to that webinar or reaching out to that person, right? That maybe one of your intention, for example, was to rekindle that relationship that you had with an old friend that you haven't spoken to in years, right? So your first step would be to reach out to that person and get a feel for the emotional landscape. And is it realistic to continue investing your energy into that relationship, right? Is there a potential to invest energy? Is it going to be fruitful? Are you going to be able to rekindle a past relationship, past friendship, or whatever it is, right? So, but that first step is might be to send a message online, might be to send a text, might be to give that person a call. And a lot of times we're scared of, we have that list of steps, but we don't take actions. We're scared of even doing that very first step that we wrote about, right? So it's about overcoming those mental blocks, overcoming that fear, right? And it's like, well, where is that fear coming from? Why are you so scared to pick up the phone, for example, right? And I think it's because everybody subconsciously knows how powerful they are and how much power they have, but people are scared of failing so much that they don't even try to attain any kind of success, you know um so it's really about like talking to yourself and just whatever it takes, just taking that very first action. And this is where the magic starts to happen, right? So if you take action, then you can go through the different steps. And eventually, when we get into the remaining of the moon cycle, um, you at least need to have done that part of taking some form of action, right? Before you're able to kind of like unwind and let things happen. So again, it's that balance between taking action, making things happen for yourself, taking accountability for your manifestations. So after, you can let go and let things come to you, and whatever the outcome, then you can accept that that's what is meant for you, right? So for example, if that relationship doesn't work out or it doesn't go further than you reaching out to that person, that's okay. You let go of that, you accept that it wasn't meant to be, but at least you don't go on your whole life not knowing what could have been if you hadn't not done that very first action, right? So this is just to put it into perspective. But yeah, so that's where we are in the moon cycle. And I just want to quickly tie this into shadow work because again, just to give a reminder, shadow work is a very deep inner healing you can do. Again, it's something that goes above and beyond than just, I think, traditional therapy. It's really getting to know yourself on the subconscious level, being aware of yourself as a whole, right? So, like the moon, you have the moon when she's hidden in the dark, and then you have the full moon who is herself as a whole, right? So the moon is very mysterious, but the moon is not the moon if she doesn't if we don't see her, both her sides, right? Her dark and her light. So we have that within. We have, a lighter side, and we have a more profound side, a darker side that's hidden, like the moon when she's into the when she's into that phase. So I invite you during the new moon and the waxing moon phase to really start looking also at which shadow part you want to work on yourself. So which part is hidden deep inside you that would require some bringing to the light, so you can take action to change those thoughts, patterns, and behaviors that are automatic for you, right? So an example of that, like let's say you notice that um, a lot of times, your thought patterns go into negative mode where you just become this negative person. And it's not because you're a negative person, it's because you have this part within yourself that has grown up to believe that something bad is always going to happen, right? So you live out of a place of fear. And so this affects your thinking pattern all the time, and you default to that. So when you hear something that makes you question, like something that is uncertain, right away you go to like a place, to the place of disaster, instead of of going to that place. Well, maybe, if this happens like that, it's actually a good thing. And I see the good in this, right? Like, I think most people default to being, oh no, this is going to happen to me. What am I going to do? And they go into a state of panic, right? They become like this negative person. And that is, that's an example of doing shadow work where, when you notice that you're spiraling down that negativity, for example, um, you can determine where is that coming from, and you can start working with that part of yourself and like catching yourself when you actually think of negative thoughts, and you can actually reprogram your mind to not go all the way to that other extreme where everything bad's gonna happen, right? Another example, let's say you are jealous of a friend, or you're possessive um, of, of, of someone, your partner, whatever it is. um, it's, where is that coming from? From which shadow part is that coming from? Like, is it because I'm scared of losing people, and that's how I protect myself by holding them, really, really closely, to the point where they actually want to get away? And then if I'm jealous, what am I jealous of? Is it because I think I cannot achieve what they achieve? And is it because, I don't have that confidence within myself, so I'm taking it out on them? Um, so working with your shadows is not rejecting yourself. It's actually integrating your wholeness as a human, right? So and then like tying this in with the moon cycles, it's basically starting to uncover those shadows as the moon is becoming more and more whole. So you can, maybe journal. You can actually buy shadow work specific journals where they ask you questions, and then you have to like do some self reflection. You have to and this is like, you can keep that personal to yourself. You don't have to share with anybody. It's all inner work that's gonna that's going to help you as a person, but then also help others around you that are interacting with you, right? So basically, there's all kinds of things, right? Like you just, there's all kinds of resources that are there to make you reflect on which part of yourself you're seeing as a bad thing, but really it's not bad. It's just it needs to be integrated and brought to the light within yourself so you can work with it, not work against it, which is just gonna cause you more grief to work against your shadow parts. So the whole idea is to uncover those during that moon cycle phase of until the moon becomes fuller and fuller, which hopefully I'll remember to make a video for the next moon cycle where we start releasing and letting go and accepting and like all that build up, and then so that's it. I hope something in there was helpful to you. Again, I'm just doing these videos to get out of my comfort zone. So they are not in any way professional videos. I just do this out of fun because I like to share what I learn about. And this is literally putting myself out there. So again, I just hope you enjoyed these. If you do, that's great. If you don't, that's okay. So yeah, and I hope it inspires you to make to make videos or whatever, to share whatever information you're passionate about, to share that with others, right? Because we don't have time to learn about everything. Everybody's are quite busy bees, right? So it's very helpful now that we have access to all these videos out there to gain some information, and we can share information like that. So let me know if it helped you. Let me know if there's anything you're wondering about, anything I can expand on, anything I can talk to you about. Feel free to let me know. Otherwise, wishing you a very nice day, very nice evening, good night, good morning, whatever, whenever you watch this video.